I had the pleasure of being the first Board of Supervisors to use this facility. Came in here 12 years ago after it had just been renovated. Very, very fortunate. And my earliest remembrance of this building goes way back to my childhood, grade school, someplace around third grade. If my dad got within 20 miles of this place, we drove over to see this building. It was huge, and my dad just loved this. He didn't see me sworn in here, but I know he's happy. So I've been admiring this building for many, many years. How about you guys?
I think for me, the first time I came into this building, the significance that it has for me was my dad, and I didn't really understand that completely, that he actually grew up here from third grade on. He was the only gopher out of our family that graduated from the school here. But Dad talked a lot about the things here, especially the courthouse. I remember him telling a lot of stories about the courthouse here.
Well, it's a fun old building, and I have the privilege of having my office here, which is fun. So I get to come here every day and wander up and down the stairs and look at things. And it's a lot of fun, to think, because we, in talking, we always talk about the rural roots of, Pinal County, and the future going on, and this is, a tie to the past, and this is what's really cool. We can be modern but still work in this old historic place.
What I think is cool is the architecture from the 1800s. This was drew up by hand and compasses, and now the things that we're cranking out now are so blocky and sterile. And this building's actually round. People don't realize that. It's not. And all the lines are classic. The stairway, the outside, it's just, you just don't see these anymore. I wish we could go back to this type of architecture.
So what it reminds me of is when I lived in New York and I was traveling up to Albany, the capital. So it was, the courthouse there was old. And, I was young, and my dad used to take me up there when I was younger. And then when I grew up, I was actually a sales rep, and I used to travel up there, and just driving by, then walking in here, it was kind of the same type of chill. It was like, wow, this is history. And I'm blessed, like the five of us, that we're blessed to be a part of this and the growth of it. So I'm honored.
What I like, when you were talking about the incorporation of taking the old courthouse and turning it into what it is today, I like how they preserved a lot of some of the walls and things of that nature. They're exposed, like in the room right here to the south of us. That room right there, they preserved some part of the wall so that we can see exactly what the structure originally looked like. You look at the bars up here up at the top, that's all part that was incorporated into the new design and everything, and they were trying to keep that structure in that capacity when they remodeled this thing.
And they were talking about building us a new building down here, and this board actually stopped that. We want to stay over here and keep using this. We don't want to just shelve this and put it away. We don't want to be in a sterile council building.
Timing is everything, and fortunate enough, we had County Manager Fritz Bering on staff at that time, and he knew they needed to expand the facility because we were going from 3 supervisors to 5 supervisors. And timing, like I said, is everything, a stroke of luck. He only had $3 million, but he just happened to call the historical community and found out he could get another $3 million to renovate this place. And this is the end product, and it's fantastic. And I go back to my history. I actually picked up my marriage license in this building at one time. And this is where we came and got our building permits when I first came to Pinal County back in the early 70s. Which that's a whole nother story, but anyway, it was actually a functioning building up until, probably the last 5 or 6 years before they renovated it.
Yeah, I remember when our offices were upstairs, and you had me come into your office, and I think, if history reminds me, and you validate this for me, that was where one of the first hangings in Arizona was in that up in that area, right?
Now I cannot validate that. I'm not going to validate it. I think it was more fitting because of my personality. They named it the hanging room.
Oh, okay.
It had little to do with what actually took place in the building, but. No, it has got a lot of history here, and we're fortunate. And I'm a history buff, and I love the fact that we were able to keep this building and use it.
I think it's great when you drive in from down south or up north even, you look across the valley, you see all the growth, but you can see this cupola standing up there, and I think that's really cool. And it's always almost lunchtime. 11:44 every day.
And speaking of that profile, I had the pleasure of going up into the belfry. If we're going to remodel any more, I would like to see us kind of make that so that you could take tours up there, because the view is amazing, because you got a 360 up there of all of historic Florence.
When I walked into this building for the first time to be a supervisor, it was, a lot different than my building that I was in when I was a Maricopa City Council member. This one's got, 150 years of nostalgic, where Maricopa's got 21 years. So like you guys were talking about, the beams and the framing of this building, a lot different with the city of Maricopa, a brand new 21-year-old building, not even, a little less than that. It's actually like 16 years old. And so the modernness of that compared to the historical look here is again, very touching and warm. And I'm proud and honored to be here with the four of you guys.
The historical part of it, the famous Winnie Ruth Judd case was tried right upstairs in this courtroom. And hopefully we won't be that famous in the future. But I think it's wonderful to be a part of this building and this opportunity to use this building. How do you guys feel?
For me, it's humbling to know that part of the things, the decisions and things that we make helps continue on the history. At someday, we're going to be in the history books, no matter how you look at it, good or bad. Good, hopefully. But it's humbling to see all the changes and things of that nature, and we've been a big part of that.
Yeah.
And I hope future boards choose to stay here and not move into a more modern building.
It's wonderful.
Happy birthday, Pinal County.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
150. Looking forward to the next 150.
Peace out, baby.
Peace out. There we go.